women in history I never heard of, and wouldn't be surprised if you haven't either. Today let's talk about Sophie Scholl. Sophie Scholl was born in 1921 and passed in 1943. She stood up when others wouldn't, and I hope she inspires you today. In 1933, Sophie was 12 and the Nazis had taken over. They were good at propaganda. Kids eagerly joined their organizations. The far right insisted Hitler was the only one who knew what he was doing and could make life better for everyone. But eventually, Sophie's favorite teachers were being replaced with people whose only curriculum was grooming and indoctrinating good little Nazis. Real education wasn't really a thing anymore. Sophie saw her Jewish friends being excluded and their rights being removed. Her brother Hans had volunteered for the army, and he saw firsthand what the Nazis were doing to Jewish people. Neither of them believed the propaganda ever again. In May of 1942, Sophie was accepted into the University of Munich. She'd studied biology and philosophy. Hans was already studying medicine there. It didn't take long for Sophie to notice that Hans and 3 of his friends were up to something, and she demanded to be a part of it. She became the 5th member of their group. They called it the White Rose. The White Rose was a student-led resistance group. They created and distributed pamphlets, openly criticizing Hitler's policies and the people who stayed silent about them. For their 5th pamphlet, they asked a professor to edit and revise it. He agreed to do it, and they'd officially recruited the 6th and final member of the White Rose. On February 18, 1943, Sophie and Hans were handing out copies of their 6th pamphlet at the university. Sophie climbed to the top floor overlooking the atrium. She pushed a stack of the pamphlets off the railing. She probably wanted to make sure that as many people as possible saw them. Well, a Nazi janitor did, and immediately called Hitler's police. The siblings were interrogated for 3 days, then assigned a puppet attorney, and brought before Hitler's judge. I will not say his name. 90% of the cases he reviewed ended in execution. Their parents were blocked from attending the trial. After only a few hours, Sophie and Hans were convicted of treason and sentenced to the guillotine, to be carried out that afternoon. They took full responsibility for the actions of the White Rose, but eventually the other 4 members were found and executed. The siblings' parents did manage to see them before the execution. Sophie's mom said to her, "I will never see you come through the door again." Sophie replied, "Oh, mother, after all, it's only a few years more life I'll miss." Neither sibling showed fear as they approached their final moments. It's said that Sophie's last words were, "The sun still shines." Today, the White Rose is a symbol of resistance and bravery. I don't know if Sophie set out to strike fear in the heart of evil, but the words that she and the White Rose left behind need to be heard loudly here, now.